Here's a question that kept casino security awake at night for almost 20 years. How do you steal millions of dollars from a slot machine without ever touching the money, without breaking the glass, and without anyone seeing you do it? The answer wasn't a hammer, it wasn't a crowbar, it was a cigarette lighter. And the man holding it understood those machines better than the people who built them. His name was Glenn Carmichael, a television repairman from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Not a mobster, not a hacker in a hoodie, just a guy who fixed broken electronics for a living and had a brain wired for one thing: taking machines apart and figuring out exactly how they worked. Here's the thing about slot machines back in the late 70s and early 80s. They weren't the glowing digital screens you see on the casino floor today. They were mechanical and electromechanical beasts. Gears, reels, coin hoppers stuffed with actual metal coins. And every one of those moving parts was a door. You just had to know how to pick the lock. Tommy's first introduction came from an old friend who showed him a device called a top-bottom joint. Simple thing, really. A piece of wire shaped like a guitar string on one end and a long metal rod on the other. You'd slide it into the machine, touch the right contact, and trick the slot into thinking it had a reason to dump its entire coin hopper. The machine would just start vomiting coins. No jackpot, no matching symbols, just free money pouring into the tray. And here's where it gets interesting. Tommy wasn't satisfied. The top-bottom joint worked, sure, but it was crude. It got people caught. Tommy wanted to understand the machine so completely that he'd never have to guess. So he did something almost nobody in the cheating world ever bothered to do. He bought one, a real slot machine, brought it home, set it up, and started studying it like a surgeon studies a body. For months, this television repairman from Oklahoma sat in his house, opening the machine, closing it, testing it, mapping every internal mechanism. He learned where the light sensors were. He learned how the optical readers counted coins as they fell. He learned the exact rhythm of the payout system. And that knowledge, that obsessive, hands-on knowledge, is what separated Tommy from every two-bit hustler on the casino floor. Now think about the position the house was in. They build a machine, they lock it in a steel cabinet, they bolt it to the floor and point a camera at it. As far as they're concerned, that machine is a fortress. What they never imagined was a quiet man who'd memorized the blueprint of their fortress better than their own engineers. But technology moves. And as the 80s rolled on, the casinos started swapping out the old mechanical guts for new electronic systems. Optical sensors, light-based coin counters. The industry thought this was the end of guys like Tommy. You can't shove a wire into a beam of light, right? Wrong. And this is the part that made Tommy Carmichael a legend. The new machines used a little optical sensor to count coins as they dropped out of the hopper. A beam of light. Break the beam, the machine counts a coin. Simple, reliable, supposedly tamper-proof. Tommy looked at that system and saw the flaw instantly. If the machine counts coins by detecting interruptions in a light beam, what happens if you flood that sensor with light? What happens if you blind it? That's where the lighter comes in. Tommy built a device he called the light wand. It was a small battery tucked into the body of a cigarette lighter, wired to a tiny, intensely bright bulb on the end of a thin wire. He'd slide that wire up through the coin chute, position the light right at the optical sensor, and switch it on. The sensor went blind, completely overwhelmed. And in that blindness, the machine lost all sense of how many coins it had paid out. It just kept paying, and paying, and paying. A single jackpot could empty the entire hopper, hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, into Tommy's waiting hands. All from a gadget that looked like he was just lighting a smoke at the machine. Let me say that again because it's almost too clean. He turned the casino's own anti-tampering technology into the very weakness he exploited. The smarter the machine got, the smarter Tommy got. And for a while, he was untouchable. He didn't work alone forever either. Tommy built a crew. He'd manufacture the light wands by the dozen and sell them to other cheaters across the country. At one point, reportedly moving hundreds of these devices. He became something between an inventor and a black market arms dealer for slot scammers. Vegas, Atlantic City, Reno, riverboat casinos along the Mississippi. The light wand spread everywhere, and the house was bleeding money it couldn't even trace. Now here's a question worth sitting with. Was Tommy a thief? Or was he just better at the casino's own game than they were? Because he never pointed a gun at anybody. He never threatened a soul. He found a flaw in a machine designed to take people's money, and he exploited it. The house spends every waking hour engineering an edge against you. Tommy just engineered one right back. Where's the line? I genuinely want to know what you think. Drop it in the comments, because this one splits people right down the middle. Of course, the house doesn't lose forever. The eye in the sky was watching. Surveillance teams started noticing patterns, the same machines hitting impossible payouts, the same faces lingering a little too long at the coin trays. Casino security and the gaming authorities began circulating descriptions. Tommy got arrested, more than once. He did time. And every time he got out, the machines had changed again. And Tommy would just sit down, study the new technology, and invent the next device to beat it. If you find these kinds of stories fascinating, the cat and mouse between the house and the people who outsmart it, we've got a full breakdown of Don Johnson, the man who beat blackjack for $15 million without ever counting a single card. It's up on the channel. Go watch it after this. Eventually, the industry built the one thing Tommy couldn't beat with a wire. Modern slot machines stopped paying out in physical coins entirely. No more hoppers. No more coins falling past an optical sensor. Just a printed ticket and a digital balance locked behind layers of encryption. The light wand became a museum piece overnight. The very evolution that Tommy had ridden for 2 decades finally outran him. And here's the strange final twist. The gaming industry, the same people Tommy had robbed for years, eventually consulted with him. Because nobody on the planet understood the vulnerabilities of those machines better than the man who'd spent his life exploiting them. The thief became the advisor. The poacher became the gamekeeper. Tommy Glenn Carmichael never fired a shot, never picked a pocket. He just looked at a machine the entire world trusted and saw the lie inside it. A television repairman with a cigarette lighter who beat billion-dollar casinos at their own game for the better part of 20 years. So I'll leave you with this. If a single man with a homemade gadget can fool the smartest machine in the building, how safe is the money on that casino floor really? And the next time you watch coins drop into a slot, ask yourself, who's actually counting? Tell me where you stand, because I have a feeling you're already arguing about it in your head.